Man, oh man, here we go again, and we are back with some second channel action. Now, last week on the second channel, we went out to D&H. If you seen it, we went scout part hunting, blah, blah, blah. Well, long story short, today is the next day. Scout's still behind me, and that's what we're about to get rid of that scout in front of the shop. We've got the other scout. I need to get the hood back on it and get it out of the way. And then I got steps for old Roy, so I'm hoping we can pull old Roy in the shop and figure something out for that. They gotta be strong. I noticed a lot of those steps today just want you to bolt it to the rocker, and I'm like, that's thin sheet metal, so we'll have some figuring out to do there. And I'm hoping we can figure out something quick, and then maybe we can even slide in a little time on the mud Sadies, get a little done. I really don't know. Y'all know me, I'm out here firing from the hip, so let's get to firing. I'll probably just show maybe some dragging around. Wind's whipping today. Not a good day to record. Look, someone thinks he's gonna get left, so he's following me. I'll tell y'all what I've been thinking though. Since we're gonna end up some money in paint and body pretty quick on the Scout, some of these projects I know I'll do nothing with. I've been thinking about getting rid of some to help fund that, because I ain't ever got an expensive paint and body build, but I hear they're not the funnest thing to get. So the Scout I would not sell, but that wagon that we did the wheel it run and drive home thingy on, I'd probably end up getting rid of that. I'd probably get rid of that. I guess we'll sell the wagon. Now, I did agree to a friend to sell the orange Lodestar. It needs brakes. I know I said we may fix the brakes on and get it going, but he's been looking for one, and that one is really good, deserves to be built. Way more than just sitting here on flat tires again. Maybe the little Mazda U-Haul box truck. I mean, I could sell off a bunch of these for 15 to 2,000-ish, which is what I'm into some of this stuff. And before you know it, we could have some paint and body money saved up. Bubble top ain't mine. Thunder Chicken, still don't know if we're ever gonna swap it into the U-Haul. Sausage Wagons, not for sale. Mr. Mercer, not really. That one's Mortski's. The problem with a lot of these donors are I'm into them like super duper cheap. So there's still the idea we'll need stuff from them. So don't make no money to sell that and then end up having to buy the stuff later and it costs more money. So anyways, I'm just thinking out loud once again. I'm not leaving, do not fear. I know some people had asked about Toyota parts and stuff. I've got a whole bed full of stuff. I just sell one whole shot. I'm not gonna pick through it all, but there's a hood, fenders, all that stuff was pretty good from what I remember. Bed straight, I'm not gonna tell you it's just absolutely perfect, but overall it's pretty decent stuff. Some of the stuff I wasn't sure what I was gonna do with, so we kind of held on to it, but it would go too. And then I guess at some point I need to haul off some of the square body stuff, step side bed, blah blah blah. Anyways, little reattack, and look, we got built-in ramps right here, baby. We're gonna go right here and right here. Oh, come on. Gravity don't work so good on flat tires, huh? Oh, I think she had one binding up. Golly. Yeah. Strange, reverse pelvic thrust couldn't get it going. That usually gets everything going. I've had this over here warming up for such the occasion. She's thinking about using gravity, huh? Go, baby, go. You ought to see my controls here. Oh, yeah. Winch remote in there. Hand on the controller. Other hand on the other stick. So as I was shoving that back, I was letting out on the winch, too. So I've been letting out a little at a time. Then I push it a little. And once I see our cable start to get tight, then I let out a little more. Because sometimes it likes to roll more than the others. And we don't want it to roll into that C10. I'm hoping right here she'll roll. Dang it. Even about to fall off the dovetail. She don't want to come off. Yo! She's free. Hey, speaking of free, Today's actually Veterans Day. So to all of our men and women who have served or are serving, you know what I mean? Thank you guys. Sergeant Theo thanks you for your duty. Sergeant Theo likes to find a tree and take a duty. Salute him, Theo. Woo! He salutes. Wound her up, she get a little crunchy, so here's a pro tip. Keep you some type of Hucky Puck spray in your toolbox or truck or something. Here once in a while, just give her a squirting. She's hurting for a squirting. Crunchy, crunchy, crunchy. It's going munchy, munchy, munchy. That'll help. It'll also help keep dust and everything else sticking to it. Now mine is broken, has a quick release feature, so don't mind that. And the whole battery's tired. Really, we need to pull it out and charge it. Or we need to quit dragging stuff home so we don't need it. It's all about perspective, guys. Thankfully, no parts were lost on the trip home. Yeah. Boy, and this little fender's built like a Pepsi can. Hey, let's do a 1-for-1 swap. Ooh, does that sun feel good? That warm wood feel good on your booty? Actually, let's do a 2-for-1. Damned old twofer. Ha ha! Oh! We're tearing up our quarter now. Shoo! Perfect, great job with the trailer dovetail. Look at my hose. Old P-Tane's got hose and different area codes. I'm just playing. There's one. There's another hose. Whoop! Now these magical devices are pretty new. Yeah, I seem to have about 10 of them, yet there's never any on my face. Maybe I should wear these where I can see, so I can see that bucket we're about to hit with the trailer. Golly, I'm slithering back into place here. We'll just slither on in. Slither on in, y'all. Parked is parked. Remember that spray I was telling you about? Yeah. See all that. Every once in a while she could use one too. Be warned, you leave your door open for 2 seconds around Theodore and he's claiming shotgun. We're not even going anywhere. He don't care, he's riding. Look who decided to join me just to drive up to here. You leave your door open for 2 seconds around him and oh, he's hopping in. Come on. Come on. Come on. Any day, Grandpa. I'm an old dog. Not even 5 yet. Our other scout, let's see if she wants to play nice. Let's give her a little extra. And then I'm going to let that do the dribble. Oh, yeah. The dribble during the drive, that's a patented technique. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. Come on. Watch out, tow roller. Coming in hot, baby. Well, this thing would run fine if it had an accelerator pump, but just no. Holy high-speed windmill. That thing is flying. Dang. Oh, power. All right, now we got a good roller and a clutch. Oh, heck yeah. Welcome to Scout City, my friends. What's that? Why wouldn't we put the hood on when it was right up here instead of having to carry it all the way down there? Great question. Yeah. The good news is now we can do it down here in the high wind. We're not even worried about the back hinges. When we rip the body apart, all this is going to have to come apart, so it's good enough. All right, Theo, can you see the potential? What about with these for old Roy? Can y'all see the potential? Well, I hope so. Me and Dad were both in agreement that we didn't want big old bars, and I think these aluminum steps is about the best looking option for old school lifted four-wheel drive. So let's see if we can't figure out how to get these babies on there. Deep breaths, guys. In your nose, out your mouth. Full circle moment here. Why are we putting steps on it? One, because every time I throw my leg back, I am stretching. It's hurting. And if it's hurting me, I imagine it's going to hurt my dad, who's older than me and everything. So that's why we're putting steps on here. Also, I just threw my leg up and hopped up in here, and boy, my britches just ripped right in the front. Yeah, I think last week we covered the Commando, or we touched on the Commando subject. So I gotta go change my pants. These ones are now gonna go in the trash because I ripped them out big time. I was still gonna go ahead and pull this in, but looks like someone hopped out last time and left that key forward. So yep, it's kind of what I thought. Things could be worse, you know. I mean, on the plus side, on this hoodie on and stuff, I'm starting to get hot, real warm. We got a nice breeze going, and I can feel that breeze now like never before. So there's always a plus side to everything. Battery's dead in old Roy. There could not be an old Roy. At least we have an old Roy for the battery to be dead in, guys. It's all about perspective. I'm gonna try to be calm, then it clips and I'm in here, you stupid truck, just crashing out, yelling. You see I strategically put a microfiber on my lap, huh? Yeah. All right, let's go change those pants. Get a battery charger or jump pack or something. Yeah. Old crotch ripper's back in business. Luckily, we had just pulled that baby out the Scout. Meant to be. It's a great day to be alive when you're driving a four-wheel drive. And kind of cradle the lift here where we get a little working room on both sides. Boink! Got our battery charging, and this is gonna be harder than I thought. So before, when these came in, I kind of just mocked them up and I held them like right there towards the very back. Then I went forward a little and then more towards the middle, and I kind of decided they looked best in right there, and that's what we all kind of agreed on. I sent pictures to Dad and asked a couple buddies. This side's gonna be way harder because y'all see what I got to kind of straddle right there, that whole fuel tank mount. Now luckily that does fit around it, and that's pretty much going to decide that we have to put it right there because there ain't much wiggle room, and that's a pretty good position. All the way back looks goofy, in the middle looks goofy. I think right there looks the best. The positioning would be good if you open the door. That gives you a nice place to step up at. I just forgot about the curveball of the fuel tank being over here. So that can touch some sheet metal right in there. But as far as getting that attached into the sheet metal, that's going to be extremely hard. And over here, there ain't nothing it's touching. And as of right now, it's looking like it'd be easier to just drop the fuel tank. I really don't want to drop the fuel tank. Dang it. I don't want to drop the tank, so we're not going to drop the tank. The way that's built, it's currently sitting on the little lip of the fender. And that's not a fender, that's a rocker. And at the very back, it's just that rocker lip. On the front one, there's another piece of sheet metal there. We're gonna bolt that through that little lip right there. And this is not gonna be our only means of support, but we're gonna get her in place. And in theory, when you stepped on that, it's gonna wanna fold forward, but it can't because that inner rocker's there. So that would maybe work. I mean, 2 bolts will be fairly strong. It ain't like we're gonna put a lot of weight on this. It's just gotta be able to have, you know, like my dad's wife, if she wanted to get up in there. Maybe his girlfriend wants to get up. That's a joke. I'm probably gonna be in trouble for that one. It was a joke, folks. But what I'm saying is, you know, you don't have to hold a whole lot of weight. So we can get some little bolts right here maybe. And then We'll figure out a way to support it on the back side also. It comes with sheet metal screws for if you want to go to it that way. We ain't doing that. Oh yeah, that's 3/16 to 1/4 inch thick right there, so that's pretty good stuff. We're gonna go just with a 1/4 inch hole, 1/4 inch bolt. You see back there's a lot thinner. Draw some lines. Now you'll see, I think this has powder coat on it for the gray color. It is aluminum though, but they didn't leave it cast aluminum. I think just being raw aluminum would have looked better, but at the same time they were like 40 bucks for a pair off Amazon, so it's kind of hard to argue. Right there should be pretty stinking close to what I'm after. So mark that side, and then that side. That's so close to where that breaks right there that nut is hitting that and it keeps it from spinning, which is nice. Because obviously we can just tighten those up from out here then. Now in final assembly, we'll put nylocks on there, but for now we're not. But see, that goes down some, but that's gonna act as a little bit of a pivot, but once it hits that rocker, right there it stops. And that feels pretty strong on the front, but since it don't on the back, that feels pretty weak. And we don't want that. Ha 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 ha. This that I thought was a disadvantage, we're gonna use as an advantage. Right there is flat. We can touch off of that. We're gonna cut a tab about 3/4 by 3/4, 1/4 inch thick. We'll end up drilling a hole through it, pushing it right there, drilling a hole through it where that can bolt together. And then we'll push this together and put a weld on it right there. Weld it to this bracket. I mean, it's only attached to a gas tank. What's the worst thing that could happen? Shoot, we got some 1 inch in here ready to go. It's just asking for it. It's weird. Sound like a barking bullfrog behind me or something. You gotta watch out for them as it gets cold out. They try to move indoors. So far done nothing but eyeballing, no measuring. 1 inch long, 3/4 inch wide. Drill that hole right there, about 5/8 over. And this was just my ballpark guessing on what we needed. And if we go up in there, we're probably a little too close to that edge. So we'll probably take about an 1/8 inch off this. Hey, wind, you make a mess, you gonna get in here and pick it up. I ain't in the mood, I done ripped my britches, okay? Yeah. You're gonna look funny trying to walk with a sketcher up your hind end. Took off about an 1/8 inch on length, and then over on this side, I put a taper on that. So when we stick it to that bracket, we got a place for the weld to go as well. Ooh, those get hot real quick. Let's see how we did here, round 2. Oh yeah, that's what we wanted to see right there. That's pert near perfect. We'll go right up there where it's above the bottom of that rocker lip, where from out there you don't see it. Because seeing 2 is already enough. Marked our step where we'll need to drill. Marked our bracket where we'll need to take the paint off. And we'll grab our other one and do the same back here. And I did realize I don't have a good way to drill that hole because my drill can't fit in there. That's all right, I like a good challenge. Who needs a drill when you got a little carbide ball? I never use this little one because why would you when you can use the bigger one? Now that carbide got us through on one side. Did I use oil on it like I learned better on aluminum last week? No, I did not, so now it's all clogged up. But look what I managed to fit in our roll lock. Usually we got a roll lock in here. but since it's a 1/4 inch bit, woo-hoo! We're in business now, folks. Got her all bolted in, mocked up, ground on our strap just a little bit. I like these to make sure we get a nice good ground that'll bite into there good. Then we can ground to our locking pliers. Pretty tight fit here to not hit the head of that bolt and weld it and make it permanent, so wish me luck. I did unhook our computer as well, and apparently the chair's quitting. It don't want to work here no more. I mean, dang chair, I know you ain't in the best of the shape, but I don't think you're ready to go live in the junkyard quite yet. Who cares if you've got a broken leg fixed with a hose clamp and everything else is worn out on you? Stop. Don't go out there again. It's not worth it. So we could try to stuff some stuff in there to protect the tank. The truth is, that strap's 1.5 inches off of there. That's gonna kind of create a barrier between the tank with where I'm welding at, so I think we're just fine. She's welding. Mama's out there showing off her scouts to Hank and Hank's boyfriend, little Sammy Whammy. That's how I know she's excited about them. She just walked over to my junkyard, guys. How many times you ever seen her in the junkyard? Never. Now y'all know why I'm so excited. She's excited, so I'm excited. All right. Give me that. Oh, direct hit. Just blasted the rocker. A little paint on that. Told y'all we got to swap to the Nylox anyhow. So this is gonna be a dirt road bandit. That means a little more vibration up in the situation, so we definitely want Nylox. We don't want these losing the hardware. Brake clean, acetone, what else? Lacquer thinner, carbon choke cleaner, especially that paint being fresh. That stuff will take any of that off. I don't know why I just brought a wrench to a power tool fight. I'm trying to push down on this as we go to tighten it. Oh yeah. I mean, there's a little movement to it, but guys, you gotta think that's a lot of leverage. What we're bolting to, then you hang it way out here and you put all your weight out there. That multiplies your leverage on everything. So we're gonna have a little movement unless we drop down like some 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch thick plate and put, you know, 3 bolts in each side and really hard mount it. Not necessary. That right there is gonna last for many years to come. Well, Theo come over a minute ago. When he first got here, I think he's hurt something in his back legs before. He kind of runs with his butt tucked and stuff. Acts like one of his legs bothers him, or used to. And I just come out of the restroom a minute ago and he's coming over to me limping. First time I ever seen him limping like bad. I was like, oh man. You know, maybe he tore up something in his legs again. He made it in here. I was like, hey, come lay down. And he picked up his front paw. He had a sticker in it, and boy, that sucker is deep. I don't know where he got a sticker at, because I ain't found one on this property yet. So hopefully that ain't gonna be a new thing. Stickers here. Either way, we got him patched up, but he's kind of milking it over there. He's kind of been moping. It must have hurt him. I don't think so. He's a pretty tough dog. Him's a tough boy. All right, we're mounted up, folks. Now all we gotta do is a whole nother side. So we will mount it off this outside lip just the same, and then have to figure out how to support that side on the back side. Right there at that sheet metal lip, we'll measure over 5 15/16 to the center of our first hole. 5 15/16. 8 3/4 center to center. I meant 8 3/8, not 3/4. That's real smart. That's what you want to do too, is drill all those aluminum metal shavings right where you need to lay down. Yeah. I know what you're thinking. That was stupid. But, you know, again, it's all about perspective. I'm trying to get free hillbilly acupuncture, okay? Those shavings right in your back relieve stress. Get rid of headaches and stuff, allegedly. All right, I don't know what I'm talking about. We'll get this one tipped in place and figure out how to support the back side. Now with this side being a little more open, y'all can see what I mean. That's gonna act like a pivot, and then that hits up there. To be honest, we could mark that. We could nutsert that and put that right there. And up here, again, that's a ton of strength. Watch back here though. That's where our flex is coming from. So I'm gonna cut us a bracket, and I think we're just gonna weld it along the inner rocker and then to that lip and bolt it. And we will do the same back here, going up where we can touch the floor right there. Weld it down here, put a strip in there, bolt that. It'll be a lot more strength than just doing something on the back and riv nutting it up here, I do believe. 3 3/4. 3/4 inch wide, 1/4 inch thick, fresh out the scrap pile. Wipe our goop off and we can round one corner. Now that was a great idea and everything, but slight issue. Because that's 1/4 inch thick or so, and that's only 3/4 of an inch. Fits great, would weld up great. I don't think we're sticking out far enough that way. So I whipped this up one out of 1 inch. So basically I should have used a 3/4 inch on that side and the 1 inch on this side. But sometimes I like to do stuff bass-ackwards. It's all right, because this one fits really good too. Hole, hole. She's gonna be a twofer. This step will be used every single time this truck moves. So this step's gonna get probably 3 to 4 times the amount of use out of the other side. And I'm not being mean, my dad's just a bigger man, and I don't mean that in like an offensive, like fat joke thing. Like, his bones are big, his fingers are big, he's just a big man. My dad will tell you he ain't been less than 200 pounds since he was like 12 or something like that, guys. In the old house, I used to have a picture of my dad in this old gold frame. It's an old picture. He's a young man there. Top Stitch Taylor was over, and he's looking. He said, "Damn, Jimmy, what are you in this picture here? 20, 21? My dad said, maybe 12. Okay, he's a man. So we need this step to handle a man. Should have drilled that hole a little lower. I forgot there's a gap right there, but that's all right. I ain't gonna lie to you, it's gonna be pretty close to the edge of it, but I think with what we're doing and all the other support, it's gonna be okay. Marked our 2 holes to drill, marked where we need to clean for our weld. Now let's do our backside. We're pretty much doing the same thing, just with a taller piece. And I get it, okay? Maybe it seems repetitive. Maybe I got a chunk of metal on my finger like Theo got a sticker in his paw. Maybe you're like Puddin', you're just doing the same old thing. Well, how many more, guys? How many more innocent pairs of work breeches are we gonna let Olroy claim because I gotta keep throwing leg, Dad's gotta keep throwing leg, you gotta stretch before you get in the damn thing. How many more pairs of innocent jeans are we gonna let Olroy claim before we get some steps on this thing and get the help we need? It is repetitive, but at what cost? Do we not do it, show it, fix it? As far as I'm concerned, that truck owes me money for new britches. She could have been a little taller. Let's go a little taller. There we go. You'll notice I'm working my way to the outsides of the brackets on this side where the holes are easier to drill. Over there it made sense, but over here we got an option. See how that nut interlocks to that, like I was telling you on the other side? Pulls into that and don't let it spin. Nice little feature. Walking over here, I just realized during my dramatic speech I was making up, I said throwing leg. I ain't said throwing leg in a long time. And y'all know, we'll just say for scientific purposes, that means adult stretching. That's a good way to say it. That's not what I meant. We're full mocked up, ready to weld. We're going 1/4 inch to really thin sheet metal. So I've got the welder set to do good around, I don't know, 3/16. Pretty hot. I'm gonna try to concentrate all that heat on the 1/4 inch plate and then touch it over into the sheet metal. Now up top, there's a little bit of a gap, which I wanted, because that'll help get all that hot quick. But we're probably just gonna stitch weld it, AKA tack, 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 because of the situation. We don't want to run a hot bead and blow out that sheet metal. For something like this, that's perfectly fine. I recommend you cut your frame in half and just tack, tack, tack it back together. Probably not. That's gonna add a ton of strength. Now, if you really care about your paint, you couldn't do that because you'd burn through the rocker. As far as me, that matches the bottom of the door now. And if you were doing paint and body, obviously you'd want to add your steps before you do paint and body. Now that was at a taper, so that kind of went away. You can see I kept the tack welds on top of that strap and just let them touch over to that body. So obviously these bolts, none of them are really tightened up a lot, but once they are, golly, that's gonna be strong. Take her all apart, little black paint, and we are ready for final assembly. Throw lock nuts. I got some Allen bolt or Allen wrench headed bolt. I don't know. These damn things are strong, but mainly they're the right length because I ran out of those other ones. So we'll hide these up here. Yeah. Shoo! This one's gonna be solid. Oh yeah. We like that. It's perfect. Now she's pretty easy to grab right there. Boom. And I know that don't seem like that much more of a difference, but boy is it. You know, stretch to there or just right there? Well, I guess it looks about the same to y'all, but I promise you, that's so much easier to just whoo right up in there. No more throwing the leg with high speed momentum, hoping it pulls me up in here. So we're gonna take her for a little test drive for a couple of reasons. One, there is a leak on the transmission again somewhere. And I looked and it's all around the pan. It could be the pan. It looks like maybe there's something underneath the shifter shaft. You know what I'm trying to say. We replaced that one seal and it stopped, but it may be leaking again because that's above the pan and then it hits the pan and it can ride around on that gasket area. So I'm thinking it could be that as well. But besides that, when we were driving this thing last week, it wasn't wanting to run quite right. And I told you I found that loose plug wire, but I think I've felt the truck do it twice since then too. So I don't know if we got a slight miss going on. I don't know if we're having fuel loss problems. I just want to drive it again and see if I can feel anything. And then once we get where we're going, we'll look and see if we can find any new fluid coming out the transmission. I guess she did fine. Just driving up here to the grocery. No stumbling this time. Oh, transmission leak. I know that looks like it's rubbing, but there's about an 1/8 inch of room in between it. Could probably have a little more. Oh, front of the pan, this side is wet. Cannot really tell if it's the pan though or the shift shaft seal underneath there leaking. Well, on the way back home, I did get it to do it one time. It was very brief. It does it like if it just shifts into second and then you're barely giving it gas, you can get it to almost stumble. That's how it was feeling before. Man, that wind's going nuts today. And it was doing it a lot the other day. And then I found that one loose plug wire and it was fine. And I've got it to do it 3 times now since then. And when it happens, it does feel the exact same as what I was feeling before. So that leads me to believe it is something ignition wise. Now, I never put spark plugs in this motor. These are the same spark plugs that were in it when it came from the junkyard. I pulled 2 and they were the nice AC Delco Iridiums, which were what I was about to put in there, and the 2 I pulled looked fine, so I said, shoot, we'll run it. So it may not hurt to give her plugs and plug wires. The plug wires are new, but I'd at least like to pull them all off and then reinstall them. Maybe we got a bad connection on one of them, but I can't get any further, but maybe it didn't click like the boot shifted or something. I don't know. I don't know, it's moving more air, that thing or that thing. I guarantee you this thing's been flowing water all day. In fact, I think we've increased our level the last 2 days of the wind blowing, because I think it had dropped further than that. Pump, baby, pump. Now we got her nice and hot, you know. Now you want to get your hands near those exhaust manifolds. I'm hoping to burn that hand at least 3 places. Gotta get my step stool. Dead light, get you every time. Pop, 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 pop. Oh, well, that one don't look good. There's a misfire, as suspected. I could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain I pulled 2 plugs out of this motor, and they were the Iridium. So we'll see if I'm crazy or if we end up finding 2. When I talked to my dad yesterday, I said, you know, I didn't pull them all. I said, so that don't mean that one of them ain't mismatch or something. Very first one, NKG AC Delco. That's a factory plug. Can y'all see how that tips breaking down? Hopefully. Look at that. Now the thing about the LS motor is we could chunk off those pieces, which is gone through LS engines before, no doubt. And they've been just fine. This baby would still make her to New Mexico and back. But that needs replaced desperately. So I'm glad we decided to do these. Now, do not forget that this engine went and threw down 282 horsepower to the tire through this big old rest of drivetrain, whatever. So she was running great. But like I said that last time, I felt something's different. So what's different? That thing breaking down ain't gonna help us none. If we don't find Iridium plugs, then I guess I've just gone plumb crazy. Now, there's an Iridium. Oh no, that's it. Okay. So that's what that other one's supposed to look like too. It's just supposed to have more of a tip on it. I see. So this one don't look the greatest, but it don't look near as bad as that first one we pulled out. I will say these $120 blemish manifolds that I like off Amazon, they're designed in a way where those plug wires come off real easy without burning your hands. They certainly allow plenty of work room. Dang. Heave-ho. Stretch. 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 That one's in respectable shape. Ooh, shiny. She's a little prettier than what we took out of there. Plug wires, plug wires, plug wires. Up next, plug wires. Click, 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 click. We're making sure we got the good clicks, guys. Click, and click. I think we can all agree if we had a misfire, it was probably not from those plug wires. Driver's side's happy. All right, time to see if I'm absolutely crazy. Let's see what this side looks like. Let's see. Hey, good looking. What you got cooking? I guess I'm going damn crazy. That's a dirty plug. It needs some love. And there's cobwebs on it, so I never took it out. I didn't go buy these spark plugs, guys. I've had them. I decided something about this motor. The spark plug I seen told me I did not need to replace them. I know that. This ain't a made-up situation. I ain't messed with any other LS motors. I'm just wondering what damn plug I seen that convinced me we didn't need plugs. Because I ain't seen a plug yet that ain't said, hey, I need replaced. No! And that one ain't gonna start doing the convincing. It's gonna be these back too. It's gotta be. Ugh. Nope, they're probably gonna be factory too. Ow. Nope, I see blue on that tip. And these ones all got blue. Hell, I don't know. Maybe that little fine tip that some of them have were a lot better. And us giving her a tune-up job and pegging her just on the dyno, maybe we just burnt them tips clean off. That one looks better. That one has a tip at least. A little fine tip on it still. But obviously old. Obviously. Hip thrust. Hip thrust. I'm going in. I'm going in. Go! There's that hand burn I was talking about. Right where I cut it earlier. And it made it bleed. I should have burned it shut. Boy, you get in a situation like this and you gotta do breathing. I can already tell I ain't pulled this one. I can just tell by how it feels. So I'm just losing my damn mind. I'm losing it, guys. I'm losing it. Our adapter for mechanical temp gauges right here by this one. All right, that one decided to jump out the bottom. That'll happen. Oh, go, go. Don't rip the crotch. That'd be the second pair of the day. Yeah. Nope, she looks no good neither. Shoot, I say we throw a new set in, take her up to the dyno, make 290 to the tire. I mean, shoot, numbers don't lie. 282 is still a lot out of a bone stock 6-liter going through this drivetrain to the tires. But are we about to do this thing a world of good? Yes, we are. I mean, I remember checking the part number and seeing the part numbers were the same. Must not been this motor. I gotta be thinking about something else, another motor. It's the only explanation. I just don't know which one it would have been. Maybe the S10. Does the S10 have some 41 962s? I'm pretty sure I know what happened here. I'm recalling now getting spark plugs for this thing because it needed plug wire, so I got spark plugs. Let's see. If this don't have the exact same spark plug, then I fully made up a whole scenario in my head that never existed. I seem to remember getting them for these, finding the same plug in great shape, and going, well, I'll just save those for old Roy. Then I saved them for old Roy, but then I convinced myself the good ones were in old Roy. And that is indeed exactly what happened. 41962. I checked, I got plugs for this, went to change them, realized they were good, and said, oh, I'll keep those for old Roy. And then by the time we were working on old Roy, I done convinced myself those are already in there. Well, good work there, Scooby-Doo. Damn mystery solved. Boy, if that wasn't a good lesson in how much these motors possess a I don't give a damn attitude, I don't know what was. Those HC Delco NGK plugs are the factory plugs. It was a collaboration with those companies or whatever. And if y'all have watched my second channel close, when my dad was due for an oil change and he came over, he said, I've never changed the plugs or plug wires on my Tahoe. And I knew he had it for like a decade. So I said, no, we're doing them. His Tahoe had 267,000 miles and had the original spark plugs in it. I don't know about plug wires, but I know those spark plugs were the damn original ones. That is insane. Over 250,000 miles on them. All right, we're tidied up. Y'all think this thing's gonna run better? Yeah, me too.
Let's go test drive this bad girl.
You meet a bad girl named Old Roy, you better watch out. Find a girl named Old Roy, she gonna be meaner than a junkyard doggy. Would you believe me if I could tell you just sitting here already it feels smoother? Hey, no trespassing. Just playing, you can move in if you want. Help yourself. I've got it to do it twice already. That's right, it's doing worse with new spark plugs. I can't get it to do it now. I'll tell you, the lack of it being inconsistent is gonna be hard to troubleshoot it. Let her sit here a little bit to cool off. Let's see if we can try it and get it to do it again. Nope, never did it again. Trying to troubleshoot a problem that's rarely there is pretty hard. I don't know if it could be something in the pedal itself, that being electronic controlled. I do know that connection on that tach control module is about the worst one that came on that cheapo Amazon harness I used. I wouldn't think so, but I don't know. I don't know much about those. I don't know if any of them ever going bad. I'm sure they have, but I mean, we did her good no matter what. I don't know. I haven't really asked any of my LS buddies yet their opinions, so maybe I'll get a hold of a couple of them. I thought surely once I found those plugs that one of them was it, but well, that just wasn't the case, was it? Guys, it's 5:30 or so. 5:30. Sun's going down on my side of town. I'm very happy we got stuff off the approach. And then on Old Roy, we may not got a ton done, but steps are on there. Those things are nice and solid. Motor's tuned up, and she just kind of stumbles when she wants, you know. It's part of it. We'll figure it out eventually. For me in this go around, I am gonna call it a day. I really need to lock in my solid plan of content for tomorrow and then the rest of the week. Well, actually in the next week. I've got my calendar and it's time for me to sit down and do a little writing, little planning, blah, blah, blah. So I'm gonna go get on that, guys. I appreciate y'all being here on the second channel watching. I hope you enjoyed some of this go around, you know, from ripping 4x4s to ripping britches, you know. We just did it all. So that's it. PutInsFabShop.com for that good quality merchandise. A great way to support me and my girls. So I thank y'all for all the support there. By now we should have had released our long sleeves and some Christmas stuff, hopefully, I think. And hopefully some of that's already coming out to you guys. So thank y'all for all the support. It means the world to me and my girls. It makes it possible where I can build a four-wheel drive for my dad. It makes it possible where I can start to plan a four-wheel drive build for my wife and build my dream vehicles like a Lodestar. So I cannot thank you guys enough for the support here at the Puddin's Fabrication Shop, even just watching the videos, especially if you're here on the second channel. So other than that, we're on the Facebooker, we're on the Instagrammer, we're on the Patreon, and I will see you guys in the next one. However, do not forget, sitting on your ass will not finish your project. Hot damn, there's so much BSery, we had to start a whole channel for all the extras. Be sure to go check out Puddin's Fab Shop if you ain't seen that baby yet. Come on!